Yeah, big money in this bitch if you didn't know. Big business minus the business suit. Even I look in the mirror like, is it you? Then I say, I must be the hottest if it isn't you.
What up, man? I'm here. You know, I know a couple of y'all hit me up. Wondering where my video was at. It's here. It's a little busy. But my last video, if you watch it and you check the description box, I said that the Falcons was going to win by a score of 34-17. And the score ended up being 34-20. So I'm not saying that for no applause or nothing like that or no gold star. I'm saying that because these games are becoming pretty predictable. You can pretty much figure out how the Bucs are going to perform offensively and defensively. Now, one thing they keep saying about our team is we lack identity. When you come in to face the Bucs, outside of Brent Grimes, we don't have much consistency nowhere on that field. Brent Grimes is probably the only one that consistently plays the same every single game. Other than him, I don't really see that happening too much. Well, Levante David too. Let me take that back. Levante David's playing pretty consistent too. But everybody else is just like you don't know what you're going to get. And now the season is over. Okay? We got our 7th loss. So the best we can go is 9-7. And 9-7 is not going to get it. I guarantee you that's not going to get it. It's over. Now, so what do we play for, right? Well, it's a good time to start rotating some of those younger guys in. I saw that they brought up Bobo Wilson from the practice squad. So we might be able to see him a little bit. Start playing some of these guys, man. Some of these people with nagging injuries, get them out of there. Get them out of there, man. Start building up what you're going to bring out for next year. I'm not saying tank. Don't tank. You want to bring in guys, bring guys up from the practice squad or whatever, guys that's injured, let them go ahead and get out. You want to do that to see what they got, and you want them to win. You want them to show that they got that winning spirit and they got that drive to continue to win and continue to fight. Ali Marpet is done for the season. DeMar Dotson done for the season. They got injured last game and they're done. They're on IR right now. So that's 2 major pieces. Possibly our 2 best offensive linemen are gone for the season. If that ain't an indication that this season is over, I don't know what else to tell you. Jameis Winston is supposed to come back and play this week. So we'll see what he got. I'm sure he's ready to get back in the game. I tell you, man, he better be 100%. I don't want to hear about no nagging injuries or none of that. He come back in the game, his ass better be 100%, man, for real. Then they brought some, Daryl Tapp, that's his name. Daryl Tapp, he's out too. We just got him, but he's out. And they brought some other person up, I don't know. And then they brought Eau Claire up and they cut Luke Stocker. Luke Stocker been on our team for a long time, for like 7-8 years, and they cut him. I didn't see that coming. But I don't really know what Luke Stocker does well. I mean, I would have liked them to put him in the fullback position a little more often, but I don't know. So anyway, folks, the season it's a wrap. It's over. That doesn't mean you shouldn't still watch the games. I mean, watch the games. Football is entertaining at the end of the day. But as far as us talking about playoffs and you can dream up all these scenarios, it's just not going to happen. I mean, even at 10-6, you still might not get in. Even at 10-6. I mean, not that you won't get in, but tiebreakers are going to be a factor, and we can't even get that. So it's over. Now I know there's a lot of other video makers out there. I haven't caught anybody's videos yet. I plan to do that after I finish doing this, because I haven't had a chance to look at other people's videos. But I'm going to look at them tonight, hopefully, or tomorrow. And I don't know what they're saying out there, but whatever they saying, like if it ain't the season is over, then they just talking a bunch of gibberish, man. Just don't even pay that no attention. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for saying that the season is over. Like, don't let no vid maker or nobody out there influence how you feel as far as what you think. If you believe the season is over, if you believe the season was over 2 games ago, then that's what you believe. You can feel what you want to feel. So don't let nobody influence y'all, man, because I'll be seeing that happening in the comments and stuff. People feel like if you don't feel exactly like they feel, then you just wrong. Like, that ain't true. You can be the fan. You can be the type of fan you want to be, and I'm gonna be the type of fan I want to be. Period. And ain't no one fan better than the other fan. We both fans. We ain't getting paid to do this. We ain't getting paid to play. All we do is watch and give our opinion, and that's all. That's all we do. So there's no you a bigger fan, you less of a fan. Like, I just tell the truth, man. I tell you how I feel. You don't agree with it, you don't agree with it, whatever. But so it's on to the next game. Green Bay Packers. I believe that's who next. I don't even know. Yeah, it's Green Bay Packers. It don't even matter. But if Jameis does come back, I'm definitely looking to see some improvement. Green Bay is a game that we can certainly win, but it kind of sucks that our season is over already and it's still November. Like, I want to be playing meaningful games in December, in January. And here's the problem. The most frustrating thing about the Bucs, being a Bucs fan, and I've been a Bucs fan forever, and I can't pick another team. I tried one year to say, well, I'm going to root for this other team, and I can't do it because this is my team. But one frustrating thing is we never can come into a season where we feel like, man, like we can brag about our team and be like, just feel good to be fans of this team and like, know we going to win games and like, know we're going to be in the postseason and stuff like that. Like I just don't remember. It's been a long time since I felt like that. Like back in the day, man, I would tell folks like, bro, we finna come in there with that defense. We shutting y'all ass down. Like, our defense, and these are like top teams. Like, they fans. Like the Rams back in the day, who had the greatest show on turf and all. Like, these is no legit teams. And I used to be talking shit to them like, bro, you can't mess with one. And Warren Sapp gonna be laying all over you. Simeon, Rondé. I could literally talk that shit. Like, and I knew we would be in the playoffs. Or I knew we would contend. And it just seemed like it just don't matter what, man. Like, now, like, at least for the past, since like 2009, man, like, you just ain't really been able to say nothing. Like, a team that you should certainly beat. And you can walk in like the Browns. Like, oh, we gonna definitely kick the Browns' ass. We'll walk in there and lose. And then the team where you sit down like, nah, ain't no way we're gonna beat the Chiefs. Like last year, we beat the damn Chiefs. Like, this team needs an identity, man. Like, if you facing the Bucs, what are you facing? If you face the Patriots, you facing Tom Brady and a quarterback that'll dissect your defense. You facing the defense that's gonna take your number one player away, period, regardless, no matter what you do. Your number one player, done, shut down. You might be able to get your second, third, eighth receiver. He gonna have a good game because your number one receiver ain't doing nothing all game. That's their identity. The Patriots used to be known for very hard-nosed defense. They'll hit you. You know what I mean? They're very sound on fundamentals and all that. But now they're more so known for Antonio Brown and game breakers and, explosive plays and all that. And then you look at a team like the Seahawks when Marshawn Lynch was there. They was known for hard-nosed defense, no-fly zone, right? Corners and safeties are best in the game. And then with Marshawn Lynch running the ball, running down your throat. Now, and then the Saints. I mean, I can give you just examples and examples. The Saints, known for having a pretty weak defense, but a prolific offense. They're going to score 35 points on you per game. Like, what's our identity? When you come in to face the Bucs, there ain't no identity. Like, you're going to face, well, they got Gerald McCoy, but, I mean, you put 2 people on him and he pretty much neutralized. Plus, he's going to take the second and third quarter off anyway. You got to worry about Brent Grimes. But Tampa Bay defense, they don't move Big Grimes. So wherever he's at when he lines up on the field, like if he's on the right side, that's where he's going to be. He's not going to move. So just move your number one receiver to the left like you did with Julio Jones, and he will never be able to guard Julio Jones because they're never going to move him over there. Safety play, they may know as far as linebacker play, but they don't come in the game like, okay, Tampa Bay known for their linebackers. No, man, we're not known for nothing. Like, we just a regular team, man. Just like we field a team. We known for beating mediocre teams. That's all we known for. So we got to grab an identity, man. Like, and I did have a change of mind. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. I did have a change of mind. I do think we should keep Dirk Koetter. And I know that sounds crazy. I've been thinking about it over the last couple weeks. And I've been on the fire Dirk Koetter train for a long time. But this Atlanta game told me that we need to keep him. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he's making all the mistakes he's going to make as a coach, he's making right now. He is, in my opinion, his coaching has single-handedly ruined this team. Ruined it. Ruined this season and ruined this team. His coaching. He will never be able to coach worse than this. But the problem is, he'll get another job. Whether it be NFL, college, I don't know, but he'll get another job. The problem is, he's going to learn from all these mistakes he's making this year. He's had the gambit of what can happen to you happen, which probably has never happened in his career. How many times did Matt Ryan go out? Like, he lose his star quarterback. You know, how many times did he had, you know, his defense do this? Like, how many times did these things that has happened to him this year, the hurricane, the no bye week, how many times did this happen? It hasn't. How many times have he been faced with this adversity, a looming suspension for your star quarterback? You know, him not being able to get in, multiple players just dropping like flies, and you got to shake the roster up, and every week you put people on IR and bring people from the practice squad and getting rid of people. I mean, just anything that can happen to a coach outside of somebody just getting arrested. Well, no, I can't say that because last year ASJ got arrested. So, like, everything has happened to Dirk Koetter that can happen to him in the past 2 years, or mostly. Even to the point where he calling bad plays on fourth down, like facing the media, the attacks, the hot seat coat, you know, Gruden being dangled over his head every day, and you can't face nothing else like. You can't face no more adversity. If he can make it through that, and the locker room I think he did lose the locker room, but I think he got it back, which I never thought could happen. If you can't, after you face all that adversity and he sit down this offseason and he really, really think about the mistakes he made this season, from all the hype and all the, you know, all that, just, he's going to sit back and really, really plan out the next season. He's going to really sit back and say, you know what, I've made all these mistakes. He's going to go over that film, his play calling. He's going to go over, like, he's really, really, really going to get in the lab this summer, this offseason, and really, really sit back and analyze his performance. Because not only did the team do bad, but he did bad as a coach, and he knows that. And I think he'll be better for it. Sometimes people got to go through stuff like this to make them better coaches. And you got to think, in Atlanta, he didn't really have to go through that like that because Atlanta was consistently winning. And he was part of that. Even in Jacksonville, when he was there, they were consistently winning. I mean, Atlanta was going to the playoffs and all that. Like, they was consistently winning. 10, 11, 12, 13 games a season. Then you come to a Bucs team that just ain't winning. Struggling to win 5, 6, 7 games. And you having to build a culture for a fan base that's wishy-washy. I admit that. In a snowbird town where people coming down from the north, down south, so they're rooting for their team. So your stadium is hostile to you at any given moment. A media that just, as soon as you lose a couple games in a row, they're ready for you to get out of town. A brand new quarterback situation, young defense, you know, can't get, you know, like, he entered into a situation that he probably never entered into. And he's trying to run a team, but you gotta, so many times players come to our team and get their feet wet, then they go somewhere else and they do good. I just don't want Dirk Koetter as a head coach in the NFL to be the place that he got his feet wet. All these mistakes he's making this year, he's not going to make them again next year. Now, it might be too late. He might be already on the hot seat. His ticket might already be punched. But I've had a change of heart. I want him to stay at least one more year. Now, if next year he do the same thing, because understand, I should talk about that in a whole nother video. You know what? No, I don't care. I'm going to talk about it in this video, whether y'all still watching or not. So, here's what we got facing next year. We got Jameis Winston, possible suspension. That's going to be 6 weeks. That's why Dirk Koetter is going to, it bodes well for Dirk Koetter to stand another year if he wants to. Because no coach will walk into the situation knowing that they could lose their starting quarterback for 6 weeks. As a matter of fact, they're going to lose their star quarterback, just depending on how long. So, I say that to say this. Dirk Koetter and Jason Light have an opportunity right now to decide how they're going to deal with that issue because they know it's coming. He will be suspended. They need to plan this offseason around that. They need to. Ryan Fitzpatrick got to go. He's done. He was going to retire this year, but he stayed. He's done now. They got the guy Ryan Griffin. Ryan Fitzpatrick got to go. They got the guy Ryan Griffin. They need to draft another quarterback this year in the draft. And we're going to talk about that in later videos. They need to draft another quarterback in the draft. And then you'll have Jameis Winston, Ryan Griffin, and then this new quarterback that we drafted. And you really, really, really need to get him to the point where he's the number 2 quarterback. And you let Ryan Griffin go behind Jameis Winston. Because if Jameis gets suspended, Ryan Griffin goes in, obviously, for the 6 games or whatever. That new quarterback becomes the backup, the number 2. And then after the next offseason, if Jameis Winston is still around and everything's still good, you let Ryan Griffin go and you let that person, and you start grooming that person to take over for Jameis. Here's why I say that. Because Jameis is still making bad decisions. Now he's young, and I got it. But a team like ours that's really on the teeter-totter from just like going up in flames and needing to do a whole reset and playoff bound, it's a thin line for us. They need to be prepared to move on from Jameis Winston. If another incident like this comes up, they just need to cut him. Like, I got it. Bucs fans gonna go crazy about that if you're still watching that this length of the video. They just need to cut him if he does this shit again. I don't care. But you need to plan for that. If he go up to Green Bay or wherever the hell he going, he ball out, then great. Great on him. But his time here is going to be done if he gets into another incident like this one. It needs to be. And you need to prepare for that today. If it doesn't happen, then good. Like the Patriots do, and I use them as an example because they're the most recent super team. But just like they do, they have a quarterback behind Tom Brady for 4 years, and if he don't never get in, good, then they trade him away. That's what we need to do. Jameis Winston need to always feel that pressure behind him. We're going to always have a new kid in there ready to take your spot. If he don't never get in, he don't never get in. Boom, we'll send him away. Anyway, I say that to go back to my original point, Dirk Koetter needs one more year because he has to see all of that through. If he can make it on the other end of all of that, then I think we got a coach that we can stay with. If he can make it through all of that next year, because next year, you think this year's a circus, next year going to be a circus. Because Jameis Winston ain't going to go down quietly. If they try to suspend him, he's going to appeal it. And then he's going to appeal it, and he's going to appeal it, and then appeal it. It's going to be just like the running back over there for the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be constantly in the news. Jameis Winston here, he's going up to this appellate court. He ain't going to just sit down and take no suspension. So, Next year going to be a damn circus at quarterback. Deshaun Jackson probably going to be gone, and Swaggy P or whatever his name is. No, what's his name? Chris Baker. Chris Baker going to be gone. Like, all these free agents we brought in, they just probably going to be gone. They ain't going to want to stay around. And I don't know if we're going to keep Adam Humphries, man. Adam Humphries was doing good last year, and he's doing terrible this year. He's having a terrible year. So is Mike Evans. They're having a terrible year. But I think Adam Humphries having a bad year because of Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson came and just disrupt that whole wide receiver room. Not because of his, not based on him, but they look for a lot from him and from Deshaun Jackson, and he wasn't able to deliver. And not even his fault. It's just the quarterback play ain't been good enough for him to deliver. Therefore, they put a lot on him being a veteran wide receiver, and it just didn't work out. I don't think he's going to be back next year. And then I think that if they keep Adam Humphries, that'll allow him to start getting back in rhythm. But anyway, I know I'm kind of going on multiple topics, but Dirk Koetter need one more year. I knew the Falcons was going to beat us, and they did. So, ain't no thing. Season is over, but we can still continue to watch and be entertained by football. So, all right, people. Peace.